What's up, and welcome back to another episode of Campfire Convos. If you haven't, watch our intro episode so you know who our guest is. But with me today, I got Steve Limani. And we're just gonna sit around the fire, talk a little bit. But before we do that, we are sitting on the Cliq Classic 2.0s, sitting around the Solo Stove Ranger. Gonna drink some Andy Shandy from the Brew Bank in Ridgeway, PA. And we're gonna have a little bit of the Campfire Convos House Mix Whiskey, which is basically just like a decanter full of the different whiskeys that I drink. Just so we can show off the new decanter that we got for the podcast. So
pretty sexy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I am really happy with how they turned out. I didn't know what to expect and it came in and I'm like,
I think that's super sexy and I love the glasses.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I have been wanting glasses forever, like consistent, like to be able to get them and like sell them and give them to guests. Which you get the first.
Does that mean
one.
I get to walk out of here with one of those?
It does indeed.
I like that.
You're actually going to be our first guest who gets to leave with one.
Wow,
so,
I feel special.
Yeah, they just came in not too long ago. So, but I think that's it for all the sponsor stuff. We can just get right into it. But I do want to see your reaction to this.
Yeah, I'd love to. Looking forward to it.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
We have to make sure we. Wow. That's some good stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. This would be a great, this is like a great summertime drink. It's tasty.
Yeah.
Craft beer is so good.
Yeah, when you get it.
Keep it in a vault. I believe it.
When you get it there.
This is great. I wouldn't be shy to go get some of this. Yeah. Go do it.
Yeah. When you get it there, they put a couple little blueberries in it and just kind of seals the deal for me. But it's just such a nice light.
Oh, it's tasty.
Oh, I love it so much. They actually have a Oktoberfest coming out, which I have to go get some because I'm curious how that'll be too. But
so this acts as it's like I'm a rookie. Does this act as our pitcher as we go through the conversation?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
So we'll just kind of, if you need more,
we'll worry about that. I'm not going to hear guzzle beer, but that's okay.
Yeah. If you want to, you're welcome to. And if we run out of beer, we just got to switch to whiskey. So I don't know if you can.
Listen, crap happens, right? We'll work through it.
All right. Well, Steve, thank you for being here. I think we just need to jump right into some different topics and
fire away. Well, don't fire away, right?
Yeah.
But launch them at me. I mean, I know a lot about like two things and like very little about a lot of things. So, but I'm just excited to be out here. I saw your dad this past weekend, so I was excited to see him. And he had talked about coming out here, and he's like, "Hey, did you watch the episodes?" I said, Mitch sent me them, and I don't. So when you're a trooper, they'll send you on calls, right? And they give you the nature of the call. Then they send you to the location, right? So they would say, hey, you have a C officer. And that could be anything, right? So not everybody else I work with, they would always be like, okay, what is the nature of? What's the nature of the C officer? And I'm like, you know what? They're sending me on the call. I gotta go. I'll figure it out when I get there, right? So I would pull up, and there'd be times when it was somebody cutting grass and the clippings were going onto somebody else's yard. And then the one time it was a little bit disgusting, but where it was a 15-year-old that had done inappropriate stuff to a 12-year-old, right? That had nothing to do with C, an officer. This is indecent sexual conduct that somebody else needs to investigate, not a 2-year trooper, right? That's in patrol. So I've always liked to go with an open mind, so then I can I have a blank canvas to make a decision, so I'm not driving someplace with these are neighbors arguing over snow shoveling, or this is I just like to go with an open mind. So when your dad had said, hey, are you I'm like, yeah, I said I literally was going to click it, and I'm like, I'm going to treat this because I'm coming no matter what, right? I love you, love your family. You guys are great human beings, and anything I could do to be a part of whatever it is you're doing, I'm all in on, right? So I'm like, I'm going no matter what. It's kind of like the PCO pushing the button saying, you're going to go here and hang out, and of course I'm going to go. So it's a matter of like, let's just see what happens when I get here.
Fair enough.
So I appreciate the invite, and whatever you want to talk about. This is a nice setup you have back here, by the way. For those of you that don't know, this is a nice setup he has back here, and this thing throws off a ton of heat. The drink is great, and we're out. Did you ever tell them where you're at while you're doing these?
No, I usually leave it kind of vague for like the area. most of them, if they
town
know.
of?
Yeah, like
Okay.
McIntyre,
Yeah.
near Indiana. That's pretty much the extent of it.
The town of, this isn't near anything, but that's okay. We'll go with near Indiana.
Yeah. It is out in the middle of nowhere, which
I
is
love it.
the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, I'm glad you mentioned something because I was supposed to, well, not supposed to, but I wanted to introduce this. This is new. I actually just became an ambassador for Rise Outdoor, which is who makes this tent.
That looks like a great tent because it allows you to keep your tent open while still providing the ability to protect yourself from the weather.
Yes, and it is fully inflatable. So there's a bunch of like the air mattresses built in.
Okay.
And then all this, just you set it up, plug it in.
Wow,
or
is that
twist
easy
the thing in.
transport?
Yeah. It takes literally like 5 minutes from the time you take it out of your car. It takes 2 to inflate and 5 total to like set everything up. It's pretty sick so far. But I'm still using it and learning it and doing all this stuff. So I'm going to review this eventually. So if you're curious and you want to see that, you'll have to come back. But we're going to be doing a full.
This is a nice
breakdown.
setup. And it even has like a floor mat so you can make sure you wipe your feet off and you're not tracking anything from the outside into your tent. And I love the fact that it's inflatable. It can set up with just a pump, right? And you're able to do that. And you don't have all like that wonky, like trying to put stuff together, which I'm not going to lie to you. I have a couple like random things. We have tents for our house, which I'm actually going to be getting one of these. So you're going to connect me to that because I'm definitely getting at least one of these.
I can do that.
Because we have, my kids crash outside in our backyard.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they would love this. And the other thing I had would be that swivel type doohickey when I'd be sitting on the sidelines for my kids' soccer games that somehow fit back into this little package that I could never swivel it back into, right?
Yep.
So, but this thing looks baller. So whoever, if you're interested in that, where did you get that again? What's that called?
So Rise Outdoors is the company. They are brand new. I'm actually part of their ambassador program, and it's like their launch program.
Okay.
So they are literally brand new.
So I mentioned you mentioned the podcast. What do I do to?
You can mention either one.
All right, you're going to send me that stuff?
Yeah, I'll send it all to you after
All right,
this.
You'll put it in the link for these people out here?
I will indeed. We'll put in the link down below. And
okay.
It's they're pretty cool. And when you reach out to them, customer service is the owner of the company.
Oh, wow.
So he's still like hitting the ground and running with all this stuff. So
that's
it's really
like
cool.
talking to the owner when you're trying to ask him about a question about your product.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. My mom actually reached out, and then he messaged me on Instagram. He was like, "Oh, by the way, I talked to your mom." I'm like,
Get out!
That's awesome.
Leave it to mom.
Yeah,
She's the best. We love her.
Yeah, she is. She's something else. Love her to death.
That's something else part I love.
Yeah. We'll leave that for. Actually, she'll be on an episode. So I did Father's Day episode with my dad, and I'd like to do Mother's Day with my mom.
Yeah.
I missed Mother's Day this year because, episode-wise, because we were on like our break between seasons.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to time it next year a little bit better so that I can get her on. And by that time, I'll have a lot more experience too. So it should be a little easier to get it rolling.
I think you're doing great.
Thank you.
I've been interviewed by a lot of people out in the earth. Trust me, out in the world.
Yeah.
From the BBC to Fox to MSNBC, CNN, you name it. I've been interviewed by them all. You're doing great.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to jump back into a couple things and ask you some questions.
Yeah, lay it on me.
So you've referenced the 2 things you're really good at a couple times since we've started talking today. What are those 2 things?
I am very good at marketing a house or a property business. I actually was doing some bar work that I'm going to be getting rid of. I actually have an offer coming in on it, and the sellers don't even know that. So if they watch this, they're going to find that out before I even tell them. But so I'm good at marketing properties. People say like, "Oh, I sell houses." I haven't sold a house yet. I sell myself, right? And I sell myself on how I can do a great job to make sure that you get the best service possible with the least amount of headaches during the whole course of a transaction. So that is the thing that I do best at, and I got a lot of those tools, which I didn't realize it, from being a trooper for 27 years. And, you figure I'm a 24-year-old kid, right? And they're like, here's a gun, here's a car, drive it as fast as you want. If you need to do it, right? If God forbid you think you need to shoot somebody because of the treacherous situation you put in or the public shooter, go ahead and shoot them, right? And I'm 24.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate enough. The gun's been out a bunch of times. Never had to squeeze the trigger, and I have had the car driving faster than I probably ever should.
Yeah.
But those were some things I did when I was a little bit younger. But the skill set the state police taught me on how to solve a problem, because I'm at a major issue and I'm by myself and I have to figure out what to do. And so I always tell people, I'm like, listen, man, we're selling your house, right? I've talked guns out of people's mouths before.
Yeah.
Mental health is real, and some of the wacky stuff that goes on in the state police is real. I'm going to be just fine handling the flashing on your chimney in your wiggly toilet, right? Like, those are non-issues in my world, man. I got those things taken care of. And so I've done a ton when it comes to how to market that. And I got some coaching, by the way. Like, I didn't just, I'm going to be the best real estate agent ever. That's not what I did.
Yeah.
So and it was something I did when I got divorced, right? Because I've always had 2 jobs. I grew up broke, so I've always had 2 jobs all my life. So those are the 2 things, and those are the 2 fields that I'm fortunate enough to. The one provides a better financial lifestyle for my family, and the other one provides a better, where I could be an active giver backer. Is that even a word? Giving back to the community, where I could be active in the community, giving back. The other one, in real estate, I'm more passive because I'm giving, they want money.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'm giving money in real estate, but in the state police, I could be active, where I'm physically there or present doing things to try and give back to the community, which is 100%. It's so rewarding. Just being able to give back and being in a position when I was the person receiving all my life. Giving back these last 15, 20 years is, and it's not something I thought I would have wanted. If you would have told me this when I was a rookie trooper, I said, I'm going to get the most amount of drugs, which I've gotten boatloads of heroin and stuff off the streets. I taught classes on how to get drugs off the streets because I was doing, they called it SHIELD back in the day, drug interdiction off the highways, basically. So, but no, it was, it's giving back. It's helping little kids. It's doing things for the community. That's what it is. And I would have called you a liar if you told me that when I was 24 years old. I laughed at you.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy how that connection happens too. I feel like most people wouldn't be like, oh, being a trooper helps you sell houses in any way.
Solving problems.
Yeah.
I can solve a problem. I am great at gathering information and solving a problem. Yeah. And the best thing about the state police is, you have to solve the problem. There's no dropping back and punting, and there's nothing about waiting till tomorrow, most of the time, to find out if we can give an answer today. Yeah. You have to make an answer right then based off the information you have, right? And that's one of the things that I'm not afraid to do, is make a decision. And then if I know more information as a week goes by, well then I might have made a different decision. Yeah. Right, but I can't wait a week all the time.
Yeah.
When you were going to start a podcast, if you knew a podcast was going to explode into 1 million people, right? Or if you knew it was only going to get to 100,000, would you make your decision differently? Yes. Guess what? The only way to find out, dive in. Do the podcast, and that's what we're doing today. Right, we're at Campfire Convos, and I'm going to have a little bit more of this drink because I'm talking so much, and it's so tasty.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it.
Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. You drink as much as you want. Also, if you want, you're very welcome to ask questions back. It is just conversation.
I'm going to ask you questions. So. I 100%. So, my question to you is, what brought you? And shame on me if you did it in another episode and I didn't. Because I didn't watch them. I like to come in raw, and then after this episode, then I'll go back and I'll look at them tonight, actually. But what brought you to do this? What made you say, I'm doing this? Did you answer this question in another episode?
I have not answered this exact question. So, okay. It'll be a new one for the viewers. So this was part of my YouTube channel. Okay. Still, that's kind of what came up. So I'm Meander and Mitch. I don't know if you know that part either, but it's an outdoor YouTube channel that is like gear reviews, how-tos, that kind of stuff, just to get people outside.
Sure.
And I have a online community for that as well. Again, just getting people outside. And I was sitting around the campfire a lot with a bunch of different people, having awesome conversations.
Yeah.
And with one of my buddies, I'm sitting there and like, we were actually talking about mental health.
Okay.
And I was like, this conversation I feel like could help people, because there's definitely people out there that we had differing opinions and perspectives on it. So like, I feel like there's people out there that would relate with you and with me.
Sure.
And if we could put it in front of people and show, hey, how he dealt with his problems and how I've dealt with my problems are very different, but they've worked for us.
Sure.
That could be something that's pretty cool for people to see. So that was like the main thought process, was we're sitting around the fire having these cool conversations anyways. Let me record it, see how it sounds, see how it looks, see if people gain anything from it. And it went from, maybe I'll sit around with a buddy to I've had some really cool conversations with some family members. And it just kind of turned into an excuse to sit around the fire, drink some beers, and help some people in the process.
Yeah, if people can gather stuff, well, that's great. And mental health is it's something. It's not nothing. And I don't know. Did you know I was the mental health advocate of the year in Westmoreland County?
I did
back
not.
in 20. Okay. So they Westmoreland County I was very fortunate where we had a dinner and they honored me for mental health awareness.
Wow.
As a trooper, which is most of the guys and girls I work with, like that's not necessarily, even though it's something that we're working towards all the time. Mm-hmm. Being in the community service aspect, I think I have a chance to do more of it than maybe the average person. So yeah, it was great. They had a dinner for us, and I got to talk a little bit about my history of dealing with the stuff on the road, and then how giving back to the community and trying to break down barriers, and what we've done and what I've done to try and help bridge the gap or try and bring maybe more awareness to mental health when it comes to law enforcement. So yeah, I was very fortunate. So that's funny you bring that up, and you didn't. Okay. Yeah.
So I find that most of the time when people give a shit about mental health, it's because they've had some kind of situation in their own lives. Did you have something like that you'd be okay sharing?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. We can go back as far as my mother. I don't know if she'll ever watch this, but she hit a low point in her life. My dad left us when I was little, so she was raising us, and we were wedged between trailer parks, low-income housing. Like that's the way we grew up. She had some rough people that maybe she dated in her life, that she brought into her life, that were a part of my upbringing. Yeah. And she had a moment in her life where she was really ready to check out. And she said, I came in as a toddler, and came in and started talking to her, and she's like, what am I thinking? What am I doing? Yeah. She's like, these are my guys. Me and my I have a younger brother, mm-hmm. but these are my guys. So between that and just I see it every day, right? In the state police. So I'm watching my mom go through this. I'm thinking to myself, my mom, who was my rock, she was the one that whipped my ass every time I came in with my shoes on, just because we live in a trailer. We can't, so I'm thinking to myself, this woman's like, she worked midnight shifts. She would sleep during the day. She'd be trying to get up while we were coming home from school. Mm. Like that's how we did it. Yeah. And then I started realizing as I got older, like everybody has an insecurity. Right, and everybody's chasing their insecurity. I don't care who you pick the person. It could be, the president of the United States. It could be the biggest rock star on the planet. They all have an insecurity, right? And it's how do you embrace your insecurity, and how do you work through it so that at least you can acknowledge that you are feeding into your insecurity, and it's your blanket. Yeah. Mine's financial. Mm-hmm. I have no problem telling people because we were so poor. My sneakers that I ran around in the summertime were my school shoes that, because I was growing, my mom would cut the toes out, right? So I had like a sneaker-looking freaking sandal, and I'm like running around the trailer park, right? Like, what the hell is that? And that's why I learned to pick up my feet. When I run, I pick up my feet. Because if you don't pick up your feet, that catches and you go right down to the ground. It's no good. Yes, it's horrible, right? And then you create this flap all the time. So, yeah, you learn to pick up your feet when you run, so... But yeah, so financial. So I like to. I'm always conscious about having money on me, because for some reason, if I make whether I was making back in the day, like when I first started the state police, I think I made $28,000. I felt like I hit the lottery. And as I've progressed in life, from making that to 100 to then real estate to whatever I make non-real estate, like the money now is irrelevant, right? I have it. I have money in my pocket. I make sure my family's taken care of. And I have a real estate team now that I've tried to work with. And all I care about now with them is, oh my God, am I providing them money? Yeah. Am I providing them the opportunity to make money? Yeah. And they're like, Steve, I want a day off. I want time off. I want to go. And then I'm thinking to myself, no, I have to make sure you have money. Here's a client. Here's this. Here's that. Here's that. That's not their insecurity. Yeah. That's mine. Yeah. Right? So you have to understand whatever your insecurity. So whoever's watching this, I know you got an insecurity. You have them. We all have them. I don't know if you want to share yours or not, but I have an insecurity. That's my insecurity. Yeah. It's not being bald. It's not having a gut. Right? It's none of those things. It's financial all the time.
Mine is service. I feel like I have to be in service to people all the time. I don't know if that counts. I feel like that kind of falls in there.
Attached to a phone?
I'm not.
Or what?
Not even so much attached to a phone. Like just helping people whenever I can. And most of the time, it's physically doing something. Like I feel like growing up around the house, the time that I felt the most don't know a good word.
Like most appreciated?
Yeah, I get appreciated probably be the good word. But the time I felt the most appreciated was just, you know, when I would do something
Accomplish
that wasn't,
something.
yeah, like whether it's you know, just helping Dad with changing a tire, or you know, putting new floors in, or painting the walls, or whatever it might have been. That was when it felt like the most noticed.
Okay.
So I think that is probably my biggest insecurity now, is like if I'm with friends or family, or like in a relationship, if I'm not providing some kind of like benefit to their life,
sure,
I feel like I'm not.
So I got to call you when I need some couch moved and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? That's how I'll get you. So I'll take
Definitely
advantage of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it's going to stink if you can't come down here because I have no one else but you.
The amount of times I've heard that exact, like, I don't have it. You're my only option. I'm like, you son of a bitch. You know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely. Pray in the insecurity.
Yeah, but I do think I feel like money is part of mine, but not, because I've always had a relationship with I grew up in a trailer also.
Yeah.
And from the time that I was very young until even just graduating high school, my life was very different, right? My parents have worked very hard to build what they have.
Sure.
And so I feel very fortunate to have had both ends just in my childhood.
Right.
So I think because of that, and because of, you know, when you're becoming an adult, I was less in the need money and more in the we have it. I had this connection where it was like, I don't care about money. I care about the people that you can help with money.
Right.
And I really enjoy that. And it's definitely a core part of me, but it kind of fucks me sometimes because I don't have all the money I need to help all the people I want.
And then and then you're giving some of it away.
Exactly. So I like you, the business part. I love the business. I love the how can I make this work? How can I grow this? How can I do these different projects and tie them all in? But funds is the big struggle, especially right now, because I have all this progress and all this like the upside that we could have, and I'm like, I just need to get the fucking money so I can get it rolling.
Well, you keep creating these sponsors. Look out.
Well, I hope so. I'm hoping to do good by them, especially stuff like this, where it's like, if I can make a little bit of money supporting something that I actually really, really like, and like this could get people out. Like my mom said this actually earlier today. She's like, this is the first tent that I've had around that would get her outside camping, because it's easy, it's comfy, it's convenient. So if I can bring that to someone else who, I wasn't going out camping, but now I will. It's a nice win-win. So
this is great for even like I full disclosure, I only live on an acre, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's just an acre, and I have a little fire pit and stuff like that. But when we have all of like the family over, like my wife's family, everyone, they all crash it. I have like 26 people living in my house, right? But the kids would love, they would literally take this and poach 3 of these around the, you know, so, and for me, for up and down, I don't have to worry about losing parts.
No. Yeah, that's another great big thing, is everything is all zips together. You can take parts out, but there's pockets on every side to like.
I saw them. I see the pockets.
Yeah. It's the first thing that I've ever had that's all like, and this thing down the middle is a clothesline, so you can like hang your stuff.
Okay.
It wasn't meant this way, but a lot of people have been using it since launch. It floats. So you can camp on like a pond if you wanted.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
That's baller.
So yeah, it's cool. But anyways, yeah, being able to do both of those things is kind of the goal right now. And I've been every bit of money that I've spent in the last probably 8 months has been for something YouTube related, camping related, just to bring it to the audience. And I've done a very bad job at actually bringing it to the audience. I get the stuff, I get everything set up, and then something else catches my attention, or the podcast, and that's been my big struggle, is staying motivated to completion. But we're making progress. We're working on it, and I think that's the main thing.
What do you think are some of the things that you can do, or somebody could work with you on, to get you motivated to take one thing to completion? Do you have this is me talking out, so you're talking to guys that have tons of coaching.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm assuming you have, right, the we'll call it the sooner than later board, right, and then the end of the year board, right, where your vision boards. Do you have, or do you write down things that you plan on, like I write on my hand, right, as the things I need to accomplish for the day, and I just work through them, because that line going through something makes me feel great.
Yeah.
Have you done that? Just out of curiosity, have you ever done that where you write it on there, if I'm going to accomplish these 3 things, and that line going through it means a lot. Have you ever tried that?
Yes. So I have a little notebook that I carry around a lot.
Okay.
And I try to do my to-do list daily.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the last month or so I haven't been as good about it. But I do every little thing, no matter how small it is. Like, okay, I started doing this before where, okay, I got to clean my room today. Instead of doing clean my room, put it on there, I'll be like, do the laundry, make the bed, do all, like, break it down into small things, because that crossing it off is the most satisfying part.
Correct.
My problem has been is I have all these ideas, and I'm a very big dreamer, right? Like, I want to shoot for the stars.
You should.
So I write all this stuff down, and then most of it's like, okay, I want to build my brand. Well, now I need money, because I haven't been building my brand, so now I need, and then I have to switch my attention to something that's going to make me more immediate money, and that has been a little bit of a struggle back and forth, because this is the stuff I love, right? And I do a lot of like commercial stuff, so I do a lot of media, photo, video, all that stuff. And weddings is usually the main thing, which I love doing. I absolutely love weddings, but I've dialed back on weddings because I worked with a lot of other videographers and photographers who would show up to a wedding and be like, oh, this is my 40th one this season and I'm tired of it, and then they're treating the day like it doesn't matter. Right. And my thing is, it might be your 40th wedding this year.
It's their one wedding.
It's their only wedding.
Correct.
Ideally, only one wedding.
Well, hopefully that year.
Yeah.
They're going to have more than one, let's be honest.
Yeah, statistically speaking, probably. But yeah, that's the thing is, I love it so much, I don't want to get jaded against it.
Sure.
So finding that balance has been the hard part. Is, okay, work enough weddings and do enough commercial stuff to have your money and be able to work on this stuff and not worry about it.
Right.
And I kind of I'll make the money and I'll be like, oh, I have a couple months worth of my bills covered. And then I'm like, but if I go buy this stuff for the brand.
Right.
And then it's just always back and forth. But I have been good I don't just buy shit just to be like, oh, I need a new really nice thing.
Sure.
It's for a purpose.
Yeah.
But the keeping that correct is the main struggle.
I get it.
I think that answers your question.
No, I went through a lot of the similar stuff in my real estate career when I'm trying to figure out, like, how do I go from never selling a house 14 years ago to, like, no, we sell more real estate than ever, right? It's like how do you do that? And you're right, because like I'm a big, like, we do gives before we do asks, right? Like, you'll never see me on Facebook or social media platform, whatever, saying, oh, call me to help sell your house.
Yeah.
That's an ask.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'll show you gives. I'll show you a house that I'm going to be listing for sale. I'm going to show you this, but I don't do asks. I'll do an ask of, there's a benefit for this house that burned down and we're forking over money to cover the food for the spaghetti dinner.
Yeah.
Can you please attend it? I mean, I'm doing an ask, but that's nothing to do with real estate, right? So we are a give before you ask, and that's how we've built it. So how do you do that when you have no money in the beginning? It's impossible, almost, right? There actually are ways to do it, and I think you're doing some of it, right? When you're taking something you believe in, whether it's going to a different campsite or a different area, and saying, this is a great place to camp out at, if you ever thought about that, right? And for me, it's going to businesses and things of that nature. So that's what we did to try and grow, is give before we ask. That was probably the main platform, if you want to say, like, how did you do it? Because most of the people in my industry, they buy leads. They spend money on Zillow, Realtor, like, so where you might be able to buy stuff to get people like this company or that company or whatever can buy to show up on things so people can click on them, and that's not, I don't do that. I do zero of that. All my money is given to the community.
That's awesome.
If I'm going to spend money, I don't spend money on clicks or spend money on that stuff. No way.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I feel like that's very not, for the people that I know, that's not typical. No. And that's very much more along the lines of what I want to do. So that's really, really awesome.
Yeah, give before you ask.
How did you, was there something did you try the asking part before, or were you always
I was buying leads? No, I tried to buy leads. I bought Zillow leads. I bought Realtor leads. So I literally found out, we'll full disclosure on how I got there, right? So I think that the dude that's making these tents, the dude that's making this fire pits, or woman, right, they should know their competition. He knows other tents on the market, and they're knowing other fire pits. Yeah. But this thing throws out a ton of heat. So if you're ever interested in something like this, this thing looks tiny. It's tiny but mighty. Okay, so like, I would have my friends that are going to list their house. They'd be like, oh, Steve, I'm coming over, I'm going to list my house for sale. I'm like, okay, great. Do me a favor. I'm ranked 25 on the top list of whatever. Will you do me a favor? Will you check in with agents 1 and 3 and interview them? Here's their phone numbers. Call them to come over. They're like, why would I do that? I'm not doing that. I'm hiring you. I'm like, listen, man, I'm cutting you a break in the commission. I need you to do me a favor. I want you to sit through their listing presentation, and when you're done, all I want to ask is I want you to ask about that other agent right there. How do they do stuff? Because you're interviewing them as well, and you're also interviewing me, and I want to know what they say. So every one of them said to an agent, I think he does real estate part-time. I don't know do you want to hire somebody who does it part-time? Because that's not. So I'm like, son of a gun, right? So like, how do I overcome that? Like, what is so when I'm in there and I know I'm going to be at a listing presentation, and it's not my friend, right? It's Mr. Joe Seller. So I know that person's coming there and not just me. So then I started talking about, the fact that I have a team, the fact that I have a licensed real estate agent that's our transaction coordinator that basically runs the operation behind the scenes. She's the one that answers the phone calls about how your house is going to get shown. I don't use an app. I don't use some of the things that other people do. And she's going to be the one that answers this. This is what she's going to say. I don't know who else you're calling, but do they have somebody? Because I'm sitting here right now with you. And my phone, I don't need my phone, right? Because it's all taken care of.
Yeah.
She's a stay-at-home mom that is a licensed agent. So like I would have that stuff already. Then I bring the ranking reports as I kept climbing up to the rankings. Well, now, we're number 1 and we're double just about the next person.
Wow.
And we're headed. I sold 149. We did as a group 149 deals last year. We're going to smack over 200 deals this year in a slower market. We did almost 50 million last year. Looks like we're going to do 70 some million this year. Wow. But it's like, so I knew my competition. Like I know who I'm up against. And those people gave me all the feedback on, hey, can you interview these people? You don't think Coke and Pepsi knows what each other are doing. They 100% know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it goes. So you need to know your competition. And not that I'm trying to steal from them. I just want to know what they're doing when they walk in and they're making a pitch on, will you sell Pepsi or Coke at your establishment? Will you have this amazing Andy Shandy's, right, brew at your bar, right? Or are you going to have this amazing whiskey, right, for Campfire Convos? Like, what are you doing, and what are the other people doing?
Yeah.
So I think that's important, and it's not to know to steal; it's to know, and take that information and then gather and be able to present yourself in a way that you're not. I'm not talking about them at all. I'm talking about, So I say, if you talk to somebody else, they might say he's a part-time real estate agent because he's still a state trooper. And I'll say, well, here's the top agents in the area, right? I do double the amount of real estate than the next person. So if somebody's saying I'm part-time, what the heck are they doing if they're full-time? Right? So I think those are the things that I focused on. And if I wasn't at the top, then I would use other avenues to try and pitch because I'm only selling myself. I've never sold a house. I've never, ever sold a house. And so like that's what I try and tell people. I market houses. I sell myself. Right? If you're going to be an honest, good human being and you're going to be receptive to information and you're willing to work through the process and you're willing to take advice and we could have an open dialogue and you're available, we're good, man. We'll work through it. I'm here. I'm here to do it with you. So, but yeah, that's how we were able to grow that business. So I feel like, I don't know, it's not quite as exact as yours. But it's. I'm assuming you've talked to other podcaster people.
So I've not had a ton of conversation with podcast-specific people. I have a few YouTube friends in general.
Okay.
The podcast was never meant to be if it grows into something where I'm making consistent money off of, awesome. But it was more of a give voice to people who didn't have it.
Sure.
So I really don't even know how to monetize it at this point. Like the sponsors, like the Brew Bank is from up by my family camp. I've gone there since it opened, and I love their product. And they gave me some beer to drink on the podcast with people who were here. Perfect. So I'm not making anything off of them, but I get to show an awesome brand that I believe in. And that's part of my big fear is like eventually to keep this going sustainably, I need to make the money.
Sure.
But I don't want to replace someone I care about with someone who's just going to give me money. So I haven't had to deal with that yet. I'm sure at some point I'll get offers. Yeah. But yeah, so I'd really like to, or I really should talk to more podcasters and just see some different things that they're doing. But the YouTube part is the part I'm really trying to get into, and I can't find any freaking YouTubers around here, especially like outdoor specific.
Okay.
I know I probably should just expand and look for more people who are just YouTubers in general. But I have, I think, 3 friends who do YouTube like a good bit.
Okay.
But they all freaking live. My one buddy, he lives in New York City.
Okay.
And he's really high up in a photography company there.
Okay.
But I don't get to spend.
I have people that do everything.
Yeah. Really?
Because I'm selling that Corvette for Shop at the Cup. And a guy that runs a massive YouTube page is I've been talking to him, so I could connect you guys.
That would be awesome. That'd be very much appreciated. What's their name?
Horsepower Extreme.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. What
Corvettes mostly.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I'm selling a Corvette.
I was gonna say that's a good.
Yeah, he's part of Blackout Tinning. They're great. They're great people over there, and they dolled out the Corvette to help me promote it to sell it for this upcoming Christmas. So I'm excited about that.
That's so cool. How's that been going so far?
Good. It's a little slower than I'd like to see, but listen, I'm advertising it as a Christmas present.
Yeah.
So let's be honest. Who's buying a Christmas present this time of year, right?
Yeah.
It's getting closer. No, I'm thinking that I'm gonna work some angles and have that thing at the casino.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull some strings, see if I can't have it at the casino for the last couple weeks of the year, get those last minute shoppers.
Oh, I'm sure that would be a good place.
They're walking in with cash, right?
Yeah.
So those are the people I want. So I think overall, I think it'll go. And listen, I'm looking forward to it.
That's really cool. I'm sure that's going to go great. I'm sure it was also probably a big. Like a big jump to jump into something
Gambling
like that.
on myself, right? Yeah. It's a gamble. I got all kinds. Listen, I am all about gambling on anything that I'm going to be a part of. And look at if I flop, look in the mirror, reevaluate it, and start over.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a big you look in the mirror first before you try and figure out what somebody else could have done. I try and tell my kids that, which isn't something they do, but we're getting there. At least they hear me enough. If they hear me enough, maybe they'll follow through with it as they get older. But look in the mirror first before you get mad at somebody else and start barking at their, say, okay, well, is there any way I could have handled this better? And I got it. I mean, I have my own. If I told you half the stuff that I came up with my idea, the things I'm going to do, and there was at one point in time, because I break down the day based on wins and losses, all day long, right? Yeah, you're the bartender. And this is what I kind of would talk to people about when I would talk a little bit about mental health stuff. It's so hard. Usually a person dealing with mental health stuff looks at here. You still drinking that?
Cheers.
I gotta make sure. Usually, and I was doing this anyway just because I have my own, I'm very competitive. Super, super crazy competitive,
Wouldn't
right?
have guessed.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I walk around with the ranking reports in my car, and I print them up every day. So I have the new one.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I would break down the day, and this is what I would try and tell people that were struggling. I'm like, you're looking at your life, and you're looking at your life like this. Who if I was doing that, I think I need help.
No.
Because my life, it's chaotic. I look at all the stuff that I got to do all day long and getting pulled here and pulled there or run there. Some of the things I gaff on, some of the things that I literally break it down to every single interaction I have and every single task, right? And I look at it as a win or a loss. And I actually kept track of it for a few weeks. So when I say every interaction, so I get up, I got to make the bed, right?
Yeah.
Got to make the bed. That's the first thing. I know there's different videos on that stuff, but so you make the bed. So I accomplished the first task. So I'm going to have one in the plus column, right? Even if I got up late, because did I get up on time? Did I get ready for my daily routine, right? And did I get up out of bed and I made the bed? So did I get up on time? So I got 2 if I got up, right? And then I go about the day, going to the gas station, being in the gas station. Somebody comes in line and starts talking to me. Did I leave that conversation with a positive interaction? Was I able to slip a real estate conversation in there at all? Because I turn everything into real estate. Did I slip a real estate conversation in there, right? And did I leave that person, with a positive, hey, if you ever need something, let me know. Or if there's something I can do for you, I'm easy to track down. Did I leave that conversation with that? If I left that interaction with just at the guy, it's a plus, right? And I just go about the day trying to stack pluses. I went on TV and talked for the state police about a homicide. Didn't do the best I could have. to minus,
Yeah.
right? Had an interaction with somebody where I wasn't the best version of me, right? To minus. And I literally have my notebook, I just keep minus, plus. And I'd go down the day, I'm like, man, and I'd have like 60 things, right? It's nuts.
That's
right?
awesome.
Because but I look at it with 60 tasks. Like I wanted to trim the hedges. I did a shitty job. Like I was trying to get them done.
Yeah.
But like I rushed through it and like it looks like this. You know what I mean? Like when I'm done, I'm like, it's awful. So I'm like, plus or minus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I accomplished the task, but boy, it's crap. Right? So like I'd go the whole day with minuses and pluses, and I look at the end of the day, hopefully I have more pluses than minuses, because and you'll be shocked how many minuses you get, right? But it's life.
Yeah.
So that's why I try and tell people, like, take something and break it down into, like I cooked a breakfast for us. Came up pretty decent. It's a plus.
Yeah.
Did I do the dishes after I was done? No, it's a minus. I left the dishes because I was too lazy. I didn't feel like cleaning them. I walked away. So that's how I break down a day, and that's what I tell people whenever you're not feeling great. Let's try and break down our day into small battles, because I can win a small battle. It's tough to win a war, right? Especially when you're struggling.
Yeah.
Right? You need to look for small wins, and if you could build it down into small wins, and then you could pile 6 small wins at the start of your day, and you look at your notepad and you got 6 pluses to start the day, it's almost like crossing something off your hand.
Yeah.
Right? You're looking at all these pluses and almost no minuses.
Yeah. It's hard to have a bad day when you start off
with a bunch of pluses.
Yeah. That's really interesting. It's also interesting that you have like that, okay, I did this, but I didn't do this part. I feel like we talked about, like, I do the checklist, right? Like I'll break it down in all the little things.
Sure.
But something I probably should do is like, okay, I made the bed. I did it the easy way today.
There's zeros. I have no problem with zeros.
Okay.
I have no problem. I do zeros once in a while.
Yeah.
It's a task that got accomplished, but not very well.
Yeah. That's. I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna try to mix those in and just see. At least I think I'll challenge myself to do it for a week and see what I notice, and
start off with a day. Small victories. Start with a day.
I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Say this day I'm going to do my plus minus 0, right? And if it was a task that was accomplished, not the best I could, but hey, sometimes there's circumstances that dictate I couldn't get it done exactly the way I wanted to. So you give yourself a little bit of a break and you give yourself the 0, right? So there's a task that was accomplished, not the best.
Yeah.
So you do plus minus 0.
Well, I'm telling you right now, this is going to come out before or after I would have done it, but I'm going to do it tomorrow.
All right.
And start with that.
You do a follow-up thing to say, hey, that was way harder than I thought. I can't believe that guy did it for weeks. He's nuts.
Well, I knew that part.
Yeah, right. Of course, right. You're like, there's no effing way.
All right, super quick break. I'm going to throw a couple logs here on the fire because we are dying out here. But these logs, so I do this thing called Buy Me a Log.
Okay.
And it's basically, like, you ever heard of Buy Me a Coffee for some YouTubers? It's that, but instead of coffee, we do logs. So these are purchased by supporters. This one is by Dave, so thank you, Dave. We appreciate you. So we're just going to throw these on there.
How much is it to buy a log?
So I have it set at $5 is like the starting thing. You can really give whatever you want. But we've had quite a few different donation amounts. It really doesn't matter. It's just people. The thing is buy a log to keep the conversation going.
Sure.
So if you are watching and you enjoy what you're seeing, if you want to keep it going, we'll take a log.
How long until when's the next episode coming up?
So next episode is going to be our episode is going to be released next Wednesday.
Okay.
I do every other week, and then in between I've been doing a bonus episode, which is basically just like an extra episode after, which if we have time for, we'll shoot another one of those. It's kind of like the intro, but a little bit longer, and just touches on something we didn't get to, but seemed like it'd be a good follow-up. But that is on a different platform. It's basically like a little in between to keep it, instead of trying to go every week with different guests, keep it at every other week and keep it sustainable for now. But yeah, so
well, I'll buy all the logs for next week.
Oh,
or
awesome.
next episode. That's 2 weeks.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
If you want to be like Steve and like Dave, the link in the description.
Right. Well, no, I want to be next. You're doing the one after that in 2 weeks from now, but you can still pay now. You can still click the link.
Yeah, you get on the list, and we just go right down the list. But yeah, awesome. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I forget what we were talking about. Oh, the pluses and minuses.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know if you'd ever want to do that, but pluses and minuses.
Yeah, I definitely do. I think that would be, like, I feel like it'll be very reflective. So I did the
Vision board stuff, or what do you mean?
the vision board stuff, but like the checklist. I did that because the checking everything off makes me feel really good.
It does feel good, yeah.
But I think I don't need just feel good. I need realistic, and I think that's the thing I'm at now. Is like, hey, okay, I'll knock off 3 things early in the morning, and I'll be like, it's a good day. I did 3 things.
Right.
Instead of, okay, well, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Get that, like, at the end of the day, be able to define a good or a bad day, or a productive or non-productive day. And I think that would really help me with my mentality now, is like, okay, I did enough. Did you though? And be able to actually like look, like, okay, yeah, I actually did do enough today. I did a lot of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, that'll be.
And when you left those interactions with your father, with the neighbor, with the guy cutting grass, that like, or the guy that cut you off, and you flip him off, you're like, you know, right? That's a negative.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to do that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You were supposed to swallow it, right? Not be happy. Maybe you blew your horn, so you give yourself a 0,
Yeah.
right? But you know, you're supposed to like try and work through that and stay calm and move on, and then you give yourself a plus, because you were headed towards a bad interaction, but you overcame it, so you gave yourself a plus, as opposed to being the person that honked the horn, tailgated the person, gave him the finger.
Yeah.
Right? Bad interaction.
Fun fact. I don't flip people off in traffic anymore.
Good.
I give them the thumbs down.
I like that.
I want them to know that was terrible.
I like that.
It's like my little like, well, I did flip you off, so you can't be mad, but I want you to know I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
Yes, exactly. I like that.
Yeah.
I might steal that.
I do that a lot, actually. Well, not a lot, but I don't flip anyone off, just that.
I like it.
But yeah, that was I used to have really bad road rage, which occasionally.
It's easy to have happen.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like earlier as a driver.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really where it was, when I wanted to go 75 everywhere, and
Correct.
people were going the speed limit. I'm like, why are you going the speed limit?
Right, exactly.
But, you know, crash a couple cars and you fix that pretty quick. And luckily I was fortunate enough to not be hurt or hurt anyone while doing it. So if you're watching this, don't speed, drive safe. It's not worth it.
Yep. We're headed into the inclement weather, so keep track of our distance between vehicles. That's one of our main things with crashes. And don't wait till it's snowing to go have your tires looked at. You know what I mean? It's amazing. You drive past the tire shops, right, during the first snowstorm, and they're just jam full.
Yep.
What's the difference between waiting a week, right, or getting them done a couple weeks earlier, so that you're driving around on a good surface to protect yourself from stopping or sliding?
Yeah, that's bad tires. I never really.
No, you never looked at your tires.
Yeah, for a long time.
Of course not.
And I normally know, or for a while, I knew when to change my tires, because I'd go to pull out somewhere that I'd drive all the time and I'd spin a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh, shit.
I don't think that's good.
No,
So,
right.
Now I actually check my tires a decent bit. But I off-road a bunch, so I get stuff stuck in the tires all the time. So that's a little bit more of a kind of have to check.
That's what those Jeeps are for.
I mean, you're not wrong. It is awesome, especially having that set up with everything, where I can just, if I need to, I just drive out and I'm set up there.
I love it.
But that was way off topic from where we were going.
We're going wherever you tell us to go. This is your world. I'm just a guest.
What would you say? Do you have any advice to someone who is starting a new business or starting a new venture, or just has challenges that has helped you a lot? One specific thing?
Yeah, I think you brought it up earlier, right? Have a mentor, or have somebody that you could talk to lean into, that you trust, to get advice. Definitely when it comes to, buying into yourself, don't be a lunatic and just dive in and throw all your resources to something that you don't have you didn't take the time to gather information.
Yeah.
And I think that falls back with the state police. Like, when I was able to make a decision, whether I'm throwing handcuffs on a guy or letting somebody walk away from something, I gathered all the information I could, to make the decision. So I think those are probably the best things. If you enjoy it, it's tough to take something that you enjoy and then try and turn it into a profitable adventure, because you don't want to take something you enjoy and turn it into work. Yeah. Because then you don't like it. Is that something maybe you could appreciate?
Yeah, I did that with photography really bad.
Yeah.
I love photography, started doing it full time, and I couldn't do it for fun.
Right. So all of a sudden, you're right. So now that little bit of where you'd even volunteer to do something, right? There's zero chance you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's turned into work, and maybe you're not creative anymore, right? Because when you were doing it for fun, you were using your creativity skills.
Yeah.
Right. So I think those are things that are really important. And then I think you have to be able to have a reasonable expectation of your stick-to-itiveness to push through whatever that is that you plan on doing.
Yeah.
There's going to be hurdles. There's going to be things that you run across. Do you think that you have the ability, based off the subject matter, to stick through it? Right. So I'm in the state police, and I know it's different than real estate because it's truly the only business that I started from scratch, and I've taken it to where it is. But I noticed myself in the state police where I have to stay challenged. So during my state police career, and that's the one great thing about the state police. If you ever thought about getting in law enforcement, the state police, I will say, it's patrooper.com. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can say whatever.
It's patrooper.com. It is an amazing career. You can make an okay living at it. If you're getting it because you want to be rich, wrong job. If you're getting into it because you want to try and help people, there are some things you can do to help people. But I've noticed the troopers that I work with that are the salty dogs, right? The ones that they're stagnant, right? So I was 5 years at one station in Honesdale, which is where I started. After that 5 years, it's like you're getting stale point. I'm at the same trailer park, same low-income housing, same people calling me names, same this, same that. Yeah. Went to Somerset. I was there for about 2 years. Went from and while I was in Honesdale, I became an accident reconstructionist for the state police. So I'm challenging my mind to go do crazy crashes and all the math of who did what. Yeah. And then I started doing drug interdiction, where I was like, I'm on the highways peeling out bricks and bricks and bricks of heroin and pounds of this, and it was great. And I learned and kind of taught myself how to do it, to the point where, to be honest with you, I knew when I walked up to that car there was dope in it, and I knew I was going to get it out of that car, and I knew I was going to get this guy to sign a consent to search form, and I knew it. And I knew I'd go to a suppression hearing, and I knew I'd beat it, because I knew exactly what I had to say, and it was going to be on tape, and I was going to beat it, because I beat it 4 or 5, 6, 10 other times before that. I know I was going to get it. Yeah. So guess what? Quit doing it. With no fun. Yeah. Right? I needed a challenge. And not that I quit doing it like I wasn't going to go get drugs off the street, but that was, at first, that's all I thought I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. I was doing the crashes. I thought I wanted to do those crashes because they get paid a lot in the private sector. Okay. Remember my insecurity? Poor. Yeah. They get paid a lot by insurance companies to go out and reconstruct accidents. Lots, like 200, 250, 300, a ton of dough, right? So I was thinking that's what I wanted to do. I got done telling people that they lost a loved one. Done. Yeah. Couldn't do. I didn't want to do it anymore. I'd get done and I'd get drunk. Yeah. You know what I mean? And because I almost wanted to cry with them. I'm like, I'm overdoing this. As much as I think I want to chase down the dollar, it's not good for my mental health. Yeah. Right. I don't feel good. And turning to booze after doing that, getting home at 7, 8 in the morning from being up all night from the afternoon shift, not doing that. Yeah. So I turned that job down basically when it was available. And then I went into community service, and then I've been doing community service, and I do some other things within the community, but like always challenging myself. So I feel like even if you're doing whatever you're doing, the day that you stop challenging yourself to do better than you did yesterday, time to switch it. Time to do something different, right? So like, I feel like I have at least one more career, if not 2 more in me. Not gonna lie to you. No. And which is wild. People are like, wait, what? When are you gonna quit working? I'm like, never. No. I enjoy working. I enjoy being a part of the community. And if I keep working, kind of like you alluded to, I will have the means to help people, where eventually I'm not the one maybe in the trenches as much helping them like I am with the jobs I have now, where maybe I'm the financial backer to help them. Yeah. Right? And finances can go a long way. It's great having volunteers. It's great having boots on the ground, which your family's huge for Shop at the Cop, which is my charity. But having that financial backing alleviates a lot of the stress. Yeah. So those are the things that boy, I know you started off with asking me like a business question. I turned it around into state police laws. But I feel like you got to keep yourself challenged. Because if you're not challenged anymore, then you're not going to do your best job that day. You have every day is a brand new day. I love when people are like, well, I'm going to start my eating habits on Monday. I'm going to start my this on. every day is a new day to be great.
Yeah.
Every day is a new day to accomplish amazing shit, right? And how do you not take that day and seize it? Like the day you opened your eyes, right?
Yeah.
And you have a chance to go out and kill it. And in my aspect, I have, our 3 kids, my wife, that I need to make sure that they're in great shape financially and that they're okay. And then I got my real estate squad, who are the most amazing people that I've ever surrounded myself with, that aren't my actual family.
Yeah.
That they answer the bell every day, and they are hustling. So I owe it to them every single day to get up and try and do something great. Hey, listen, plus minus category. Sometimes there's going to be a bunch of minuses, and I didn't quite accomplish it, but it's not going to be for lack of effort.
Yeah. Wow, that is. I like that perspective a lot, and I think you might be the first person that I've actually talked to in person. Like, I've seen people talk about this, but that doesn't want to retire. Like, you want to, because that's I say that to people, and they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, I never want to stop working. I want to change what I'm doing, and much like you, I think the path that I'd really like to do is, obviously I want to get my business and all my stuff, and I've been doing a bunch of like different stuff. So I did media. I started with photography, changed to media, did some marketing stuff, did some wedding stuff. Right. Now I'm trying this, doing the podcast, doing like the community stuff. So I'm getting a lot of different stuff, and I wouldn't say that I've succeeded very well in any of those yet, but I've learned a lot of lessons, and I'm growing. Long term, I want to, like you're saying, kind of be the financial backer, but I want to go into a business, be like, hey, this family business that means a lot to you isn't doing well financially. How can we fix that? These are the things we can do. Here's the money to make it happen. Right. And obviously you take a financial gain from that.
You have to get compensated.
Yeah. But to be able to give a family or small business in general, new life is the goal. Like, okay, I don't care if I'm making $20,000 doing it, or $2 million doing it, or $20 million doing it. To be able to have that impact, because I grew up small town.
Like a town like McIntyre.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a new business opening up, or a new bar opening up in McIntyre, which the amount of businesses that can open in McIntyre, bar is one of 2 options.
Right. So how do you support them?
Yeah.
And then, look, if they got to put out a decent product, then you, as a community, want to support them.
Exactly. And that's what we have. It's going to be the McIntyre Pub, which is... I
saw it. I drove by it.
Yeah, it was an old bar. It actually was my favorite bar for a while. It was called Brewers. Had really good wing night. Perfect. But I guess they messed something up with their liquor license or something. I don't know the details.
Serve a bunch of underagers. It's easy.
Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me. But and then there's another. It's a brewery and pizza shop down the road.
I think I drove past that, didn't I?
Probably, yeah. But people come from a decent ways away for that, because it's very different, and it's awesome food, awesome pizza. They were actually a sponsor for one of our episodes, so I'll call them out now. Sariani's Pizza and the
McIntyre Pub.
Yeah, McIntyre Pub is the other one. They weren't a sponsor, but they're there. So, and they're opening up, I think next week maybe.
Okay.
So
it is Sariani's Pizza.
Yeah, Sariani's Pizzeria, and I'm blanking on the brewery part of its name.
That's okay. We can put it down in the description for them, right?
We'll add that for sure.
Yeah, we could add that to the description. And then, do you think they're open when I could grab a pizza to take home?
Actually,
No, you don't have to call them or do anything like that.
I don't know what time they close. It's only 6:25, so they should be open for a little while.
I'll have to take one home, right? That's got to be all a part about it. That's all a part of this.
You definitely should.
So far, you sold me 3 of these tents that I got to go get. I got to go to Ridgeway, PA, or I got to order this stuff from you. I bet you they have online stuff that I can do. And now I got to get a pizza from down the street.
Yeah, this is
going to be an expensive. And I bought logs. This is going to be an expensive trip.
I'm glad you came.
Yeah, right. Of course you are. No.
But no, I just the small business part. I think that's the cool thing, is being a small business, knowing the struggle, and then being able to give back eventually is cool. But
it's awesome. It's awesome. And you're surrounding yourself with the right people. And I did learn this the hard way. I when I went to coaching, I had a person that I was with.
I'm actually going to pause you for 1 second. Well, while we're paused and while we come back in, I'm going to throw our next set of logs on.
Okay.
This set of logs is from Kimmy. So thank you, Kimmy. Be like Kimmy, be like Dave, and like Steve. Check that link down below and keep the fire burning.
Yeah, thanks, Kimmy. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Kimmy. I appreciate you. Loud noises.
I can't believe, and I'm sure somebody else had to tell you this. This thing throws off a lot of heat for this. It seems like a little guy.
Yeah. It's if I pack it full with like the whole time, the flame gets like this high consistently.
Get out.
But I try to keep it down because one, it's a little bit of a warmer day, so I don't want you to get cooked. Because if the wind comes and the flame's that high, it kind of tickles you a little bit.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But yeah, I use this in the winter too, and it's
I'm shocked you're in a tank top. I mean, it's a nicer day out, but it's got a little chilly out.
Yeah, I run really hot pretty consistently.
Okay.
That and my merch is a tank top.
I was going to ask you that. So why don't we talk about Meander more?
Yeah, we can.
I'd love to know. I'd see the merchandise.
Is there any specific questions you have?
Yeah. So what branding, right? What's the brand, and what is it? Is there like a mission statement, or what is the goal with Meander more? Why don't we?
Yeah. So
dig into that.
It's basically started as a community for my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So my YouTube channel is Meanderin Mitch, and it's just the get outside, camp and hike and all the stuff. The group is kind of I was part of an outdoor group, and I joined it a couple years ago, had a lot of interaction with a lot of people, a lot of new people, and no exaggeration, it changed my life. It got me outside a lot more, it got me interacting with a lot more outdoorsy people, and I really loved that group. But it wasn't really out in our area too much.
Okay.
It was a lot more out west. And I was trying to get some support from them and try to just get things rolling. And I'm like, hey, give us some hoodies to give away at these events we're throwing, or give us some stuff to like kind of give us support to have these, or like what kind of motivation to like
and draw people into the group, maybe.
Exactly. And they didn't want to do it, so they wouldn't give us anything, and it kind of turned into like well, fuck it, if they're not going to make something, I'll make something, and I'll do it for my channel. And after a while of I won't do my thing, I'll just do theirs. I tried to apply for an ambassador. I said, fuck it, I'm starting my own thing. I started my own thing, got it rolling, and then they reached out and were like, hey, we'd like you to be an ambassador.
Of course you would.
And I said yes, with the stipulation that I can market it for both. Like, I'm like, well, I'm going to have my stuff.
Right.
So you guys have done a lot for me, so I'm not going to just say, fuck you guys. But I'm going to grow my thing is priority, and then whatever I can do for you is kind of secondary, but I'm still going to do a good job. And they said yes. So I'm the owner of the Meander More outdoor community. Okay. And then I'm an ambassador for Outsiders Together. Both just want to get people outside.
Sure.
Mine is much more like getting people outside. The other one is more like they're already always outside, because it's like Colorado, Utah, like all the places where people just live outside. But
so when you say get outside, is it strictly like raw camping? Can you define something? Because you got to remember, my wife thinks camping is when we're at like a 3.5-star hotel. Yeah. Right? That's camping. So go ahead.
Literally anything. So as long as you're outdoors, it could be, take a pillow off your blanket, or a pillow off your bed and blanket off your bed, go outside and look at the stars for a little bit. It could be camping outside. It could be backpacking in 12 miles each way. It could be staying in a little dome tent that's kind of out there.
Okay.
Literally any activity you can do outside, but just get outside, because it's done so much for me. Like the mental health thing was kind of a big part of the mission at the beginning, and it still is, but I don't talk about it because I'm kind of afraid to talk about mental health specifically. I just feel like with everything else, like if I'm like, hey, this tent is awesome, I like this tent, and you go get that tent, you don't like it, it sucks, because I'm not going to say something I don't really enjoy, right?
Right.
But your worst case is you don't like a tent that I told you to get. Mental health, I'm a little more intimidated about it, because like I'll talk about what I've done, but I can't say for certainty. Like I'm gonna be like, oh, you should try this, this, and this. So it's a topic that means a lot to me that I don't talk about as much as I'd like because of the uncertainty with it. I've been a lot more recently having conversations with people around the mental health stuff, but that's again more of the personal experience. But anyways,
no, that's important. I don't. This is me. Like I never asked your dad. How old is he? He's got to be close. I got to be a couple years older than him.
He's mid-50s.
Okay, so I'm 50. Yeah, so we're not that far off.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So like, I don't like. You become like not afraid to talk about just about anything, and knowing that you don't know everything.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's important. Like I think breaking down the day into smaller wins helps people with mental health, regardless of what they're struggling with. Yeah. Small wins, and then not being afraid to talk to somebody about, hey, I'm struggling. How can I help get small wins?
Yeah.
Or how can, but usually they're struggling with, oh my God, it's a relationship. Oh my God, I'm dependent on something, right? Whether it's a vice that you create, right? There's so many, I used to joke around, I almost don't trust somebody when I was a trooper that didn't have a vice. Because that means I don't know what their vice is.
Yeah.
Because, whether it's wanting to have a couple beers after work, whether it's somebody that smokes cigarettes, whether it's somebody that's hitting their vape, whether it's somebody that's chewing tobacco, whether it's somebody that's gambling, when they don't have a vice, overly religious.
Yeah.
Every single day has got to be a religious day. There's nothing wrong with being close to God. I'm a God-fearing man, and I have my beliefs in that type of stuff. But every day, I don't sit there and go to church. Working out, where I have to work out 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
I think those are it's almost a vice when it's too much. I don't want to put God and say that's a vice, but like some of those things are like that's not almost like a video game.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to it. So like when you have a vice and I know it,
yeah.
I'm almost good.
Yeah.
When you don't have a vice or I don't know your vice, I'm almost like child pedophile. You know what I mean? That's where my brain goes, right? Being a trooper for so long, my wife likes to look at herself and she's worried about her looks, which God forbid, I'm sure she's going to watch it. Most beautiful woman I've ever seen and I'll ever see in my life. But like she cares about like herself and self appearance. But like at least it's a vice. I know it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's they don't have a vice.
Yeah. Question a little bit.
Yeah. I'm like, you watch porn, don't you?
Yeah.
But anyways, so back to your thing. So what about? And I don't know if this is something that's completely off topic or something that. What about having kids go to a week-long, Meander Moore camp where they come out for an hour or two?
So it's funny you say that. It's something in the pipeline. It's kind of low in the pipeline just because I don't know how to do it.
How hard would it be, and this is me thinking out loud, not a camping guy, to take a small enrollment and meet at, and I'm going to just say Keystone because Keystone's closer to where I'm at, right? Because it's public. We're going to teach you how to build a fire this day. We're going to do this day. We're going to do that day. It's a 2-hour camp. You're go home.
Yeah.
And then the following day, we're going to learn how to row a boat, or a canoe. And then we're going to, I don't know, again, I'm not knowing camping skills. Yeah. We're going to set up a tent, what will we need if we need to survive? So our family, we're a huge naked and afraid family.
Okay.
We usually gamble $1, right? It's usually you throw $1 in, or somebody has to get up, get the popcorn, or somebody has to clean up the dishes, and you'd pick do I think this person's going to make it? Not make it. They're both going to make it. They're both going to quit. Or when it's the large ones, they're big fans of Matt. I don't know if you ever saw Matt. Matt was like he slayed everything. Matt killed a wild boar. Matt chopped off a snake. Matt choked an alligator to death. Matt was like the best, right? Okay. So but we're huge, and those are like when it's like the 40-day deal. But is that something that you would ever think about?
Yes,
because I have the kids for that.
I would love to do that. The thought process that I had was for those specific types of events, I would love to become a nonprofit so that I can raise money specifically for that. It kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier with I really want to spend money on these things, but I don't have the funds.
Why can't you make it a money thing at first? Why can't it be a money thing at first, and then if it becomes successful, then it becomes a nonprofit thing?
I mean, you're not wrong. I feel like that definitely is 100% an option. I've never really thought about it.
We started off with 8 kids.
Yeah.
It was you, and I'm sure you have people that are in your bubble that might be an assistant.
Yeah. I have a couple people that would. I mean, so Carla is our normal behind the camera girl.
Okay.
She was actually in Washington State this week, so she's been meandering for us.
Good.
But yeah, she would be probably she's my go-to person.
Yeah.
So she would love to, teach anything really. She's a lot more of like a creative person. Like she likes writing and journaling and drawing and art and that stuff, which I'm more of I can do this.
Right.
I'm creative to a point, but not that way. But yeah, no, I'm sure she would love to do that too. And it'd be really cool to just, I mean, Boy Scouts were my favorite. Like, it was such a cool experience.
Well, I would love to, I mean, even if our real estate squad sponsored some people, or if people out there sponsored it and you figured out what it would cost a kid to come to something, and I don't want to put you out or pin you on a spot, but if you came up with something that, if it was 2 hours a day, something convenient for the kids to learn how to do something, and you advertised it, came up with a syllabus, and you're able to put that out there, I think that'd be awesome, and I think it would be a part of what you're trying to create. And I love proof of concept, right?
Yeah.
I'm a proof of concept guy. I was able to, I never had my real estate license, I had no idea. Yeah. Look, here's my resume. I never sold a house before. Now look how many houses we sold. I never sold a bar before. Now look how many bars I sold. My creative content, the last stupid little video I did had 50-some thousand people to just watch the video, and I'm just around here. I'm not trying to do anything else. I don't boost it. I don't do any of that stuff. And I can make an itty little bitty video just that's around here, and that's how many people watch it for real estate, right? It's like, here's my proof of concept. So if you were able to take a camp of only 8 kids as your rookie camp, and it's held special group, 8 kids, and I don't know what it would cost. I'm just thinking out loud, like, I don't know if it cost the kids $400 or, I don't know, $400 for the week, or what's that break down to, but $50. I mean, if it was $250 even, because $250 would be $50 a day for 2 hours, $25, right? So like, where you can break it down, because and all they got to do is show up, right? And then you're giving them the tools, and they leave and they have their little merit badge. Yeah. Because they survived the Meander Moore camp. Yeah.
I really love that idea. Huh. I really would love to discuss further with you. Actually, I like that idea a lot.
You have your Meander Moore camp. Yeah. And eventually maybe you're just running a bunch of them.
I mean, that...
You have the property here to do it.
I was going to say, that is the long-term goal. I want to own some campgrounds. Well, I told you I want to own all the businesses. Campgrounds are the thing that I think I would really enjoy kind of flipping and turning, because they're not... I don't think they're necessarily that difficult to have. Sure. I think the separation is the cool thing, because you can do a lot with a campground and make it stand out above the others. But yeah, the working with the kids is... You can affect someone's life, right?
Like, 1,000,000%. Anyone. Change your life like that.
The younger you get to them, I think the more...
They're impressionable.
Yes. Like, it can change them in a way that... Like, okay, you're 30 years old, you're going to change for the rest of your life. That's great, but you've lived most of your life already. You're pretty set in your ways for the most part. Correct. Someone who's, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12.
And you taught them how to make a fire. Yeah. Right? Or you taught them how to, you worked on setting up a boma. Yeah. Right? That's, me watching Naked and Afraid. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how to do it. I'm shooting out technical terms here. If you don't know what a boma is, watch the show. But no, you showed them how to make some type of shelter, or you showed them, the things in our area that you can eat or not eat, something that's healthy for you and not healthy. Yeah. Something that's dangerous, something that you can use. Yeah, I'm sure, like, again, I'm talking outside of my know a little bit about a lot of stuff, right? But you could do something like that and literally create a wilderness experience. Yeah. That if you do a great job and you're doing gives while you're doing it before you're doing asks, right? Like, we're asking this thing not to catch us on fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say that jumped at us pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, you would do a great job, and I mean, you guys are well known in the community as being great humans, so it's not. I appreciate that. Especially if you get business people like myself that are like, I don't know, you don't have to be a nonprofit at first for me to buy into something like that. You know? And I put it as an advertisement because the kids get a t-shirt at the end and my name's on the t-shirt, right? Yeah. So you're saying, hey, listen, for this kid, it's $250 for a kid, to be a part of this, your name goes on a shirt. You're buying 10 shirts. You're buying one for each kid and one for you, right? And your assistant. So that's who has the shirts. There's 10 shirts,
Wow. I think that's the part I really need to figure out, is how can I go to other people for support that is a win-win? Because, like, I don't want to just be like, hey, you want to pay for these kids? The advertising, like, it's something so simple. I should have considered. I've not even thought about that one time. Yeah, like, hey, no, I have not. Like shirts. Anytime. I mean, I've considered, like, okay, hey, we're gonna do this event. Let me put a sign for you out there. But I've not considered T-shirts.
Or you tell them, I'll give you 10 shirts. Yeah. If you support this, I'm making 10 shirts for you to give out to your clients. Yeah. And in the meantime, the kids are going to wear a shirt that has this on there. You know, there's only one real estate team, there's only one restaurant, there's only one whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and you're sponsoring this child, and the child's going to sign a waiver saying that he's going to say thank you because he got to have a picture. Because we're only having 8 sponsors because there's only 8 kids that are coming. Yeah. Right? And we're going to sponsor. We're really going to target kids from. And I don't want to put Shop at the Cop in there, but we're going to target kids that maybe. Let's be honest. Yeah. They don't have that shot. Yeah. Right. So maybe that's what you're doing at first. Mm-hmm. Right, and then Shop at the Cop has. I mean, we run through 500-600 kids. You know. Wow. Just like I said, food for thought. Like I said, I showed up here with no ideas.
Really love the idea. Actually, so we're gonna have to kind of wrap this up because we were at an hour when we stopped originally. But this has been a really great conversation, so I don't want to. What are your thoughts on this? So I normally do a bonus episode.
Yeah.
It is behind a paywall. I would like to, if you're okay with it, talk about Shop with a Cop a little bit.
That's whatever you want.
Because we've mentioned it a few times. But I'd like to, whatever we raise for that, so we'll do a month after that episode, I'd like to give to Shop with a Cop, if you're cool with that.
We're going to do it towards you're going to take Shop with the Cop kids and you're going to do an outdoor adventure thing.
Deal.
That's what we're going to do.
I'm down.
You're going to do an outdoor adventure thing for Shop with the Cop. So get behind the paywall, spend a couple bucks because we're going to have our guy Mitch over here teaching kids how to do stuff. And I'm just going to go with the stuff I know. How to build a fire, how to try and make a shelter, how to do things when they're out in the wilderness. And it's all going to be part of Meander more and how they're building and helping the kids in the community. So check it out. And I don't know if you take us out of here, however that happens, or what do you want me to do? Is there something I got to do before?
We will. We'll end it there. We'll be back for the bonus episode. So come back next week, and like you said, it'll be behind the paywall, but 100% of that will go into the Shop with the Cop collaboration.
Yes.
With Meander more to get some kids outside and just teach them some cool outdoor stuff.
I love it. I'll be there for the first. Not the whole week. Yeah. I'll be there because I want to learn how to build a fire. Okay. So, because I've tried and I can't do it.
I'll send you the detailed list and you can pick a couple days.
I'd love it. I'd love it.
We'll teach you some stuff. All right. So, problem, we have to finish these beers because these are our shot glasses also.
I can do that. Absolutely delicious. Don't miss out on this.
I'm glad you liked it. And now we have to do our shot. Ooh. So,
this is some nice swag you got.
Thank you. We're just gonna hold that for a second. Oh wow, that was not. Oh wow, what am I doing? I'm pouring a drink, not a shot. I'm gonna pour you not a lot because that was way too much. I poured myself like.
You could just dump some of that in mine. You didn't have to do that.
Probably should have. Well, I'm doing a big shot, I guess.
You'll handle it.
But yeah, so this is a decanter. You just fill it with, like, I don't know if you're a whiskey guy or not. So I had a couple different whiskeys that I really liked, but I only had like a third of a bottle. So I put them all in there and hopefully it tastes good.
We'll figure it out.
So to collaboration.
I look forward to it. I can't wait. I'm pumped. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh.
It's smooth.
That was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I thought it was going to be decent, but I didn't think it was going to be that good.
No, it was smooth. You might do that from now on. Take them and pour them together.
Yeah, for real. Well, I have to with the decanter. I think it's like the thing. But I've never had one before. I've never had one.
Are these for sale online? Do you have these for sale? Do you have your merchandise for sale?
I'm working on the page to sell stuff. I'm doing batch orders, so they take a while to come in.
Okay.
But
how do people find that if they want to buy it?
So anything that we've discussed the entire episode, or anywhere like the buy log, the merchandise that we do have, anything like that will be in the link in the description. So
check that out. I'm going to have one of those on my bar whenever they come in.
Awesome. Well, Steve, thank you so much for being here.
No worries.
I really appreciate you. And for anyone listening, if you've made it this far, I appreciate you too. And until next time, peace.